My major concern, sir, is this. Like my colleague have said, there are really growing concerns about appointment of judicial officers in this country. There are really concerns. And you know, having traveled this long, you know what it used to be and what it is now. If confirmed as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, what will you do, differently to ensure that we reverse back to that era where integrity, honesty, commitment to professionalism, and respect for the institution of judiciary are the sine qua non for qualification for appointment into these offices?
It is said, my Lord, that justice delayed, justice denied. You agree with me, and most lawyers and Nigerians, that we've witnessed unnecessary delay in the administration of justice in our country. The Supreme Court suffers that the most, maybe because we need more justice at that court, and whether my Lord will subscribe to the fact that more justice should be appointed to the Supreme Court. That is one. And my Lord, under your leadership, if confirmed today, how will you address the issue of this delay in the administration of justice in our country? Thank you.
The Supreme Court will start off in the way we have computerized and introduced in one of the three courts in the court. Great technology that lawyers may soon address the court from the comfort of their chambers once they are properly briefed. Like many of us will have had Zoom meetings, Zoom consultation with our friends, our doctors, and so on, from far away in foreign lands. We are starting that soon. What has been our problem is fund. And I believe and happy that if this Honorable Senate is aware that we need to move forward, we need to advance, we need fund so to do. So by the time our budget is presented, we believe it will pass through. There's need to improve on the way we file processes, the way we still do a lot of writing, despite the brief writing of counsel in respect of matters. Justices still record in longhand. But this will change this time around because we are engaging stenographers that will have knowledge, great knowledge of technical terms, legal terms, because I've discovered that some of those engaged will misunderstand what counsel say in their address or in their brief. So we're engaging stenographers, and we're going to do transcriptions of, submissions, addresses. We've been doing front loading of pleadings. We shall soon go on front loading evidence, front loading exhibits, so that counsel may not need to come to court. We've always said it, people come from far away, Maiduguri, from far down Port Harcourt, and they get to court only to discover that the court is not sitting. That is not too good. So, it is my desire to plead with this Honorable Senate to approve our budget to do this, because it will affect every one of us. I believe that's why we have checks and balances. The judiciary cannot operate without the Senate, nor without the executive arm of government. Indeed, that's what has brought us all here today. The judicial arm of government having played its role by nominating and recommending, the executive having made its choice by appointing. It is required that the Senate must confirm. Otherwise, the nominee of the president will be sent back to him. But we shall make progress at the next stage of the judiciary of this country. On the rules of court, it must have been read in our memo that for over 3 years, rules of court were prepared, and we haven't seen, it hasn't seen light of day. Because this is just the Supreme Court. And there are other courts in the judiciary of this nation. But we want to, in the Supreme Court, give the lead, amend our rules and procedure so that we'll move from the archaic procedure that we've always engaged, so that, businessmen, investors, we know that the courts are functioning and they are being effective, not just giving judgments, but we are doing effective services. That's why we're going to amend the rules appropriately. We're going to meet with all the heads of courts. Aside from the state high courts, in the past we used to have common rules of court. But each court is entitled to have its own rules of procedure, which will enable the courts function effectively.